my question is, how come I'm seeing your posters and billboards here too?
Well, Roland, you've been part of this political system, even though you are not an active front runner in our political system. But you're pretty much aware that I've moved from Ningo Pram to Bortianor, Ngleshie, Amanfro, and gracefully have won the primaries here. So I'm the candidate for the MPP in this constituency.
So what somebody who asks that, you won because you had the right sort of message for the delegates. So you won. Now, apart from that, you also may have made some promises that these are some of the key aspects of development that you think your constituents would need in Bortianor, Ngleshie, Amanfro. What are they? If, let's say, I ask you, name at least 6 of them or even 4 of them.
Well, Roland, first of all, the primaries was an internal one. Therefore, the party was looking at somebody that is marketable, somebody that can stand the test of time, somebody that can make this place a stronghold of the party, somebody that can be a good advocate for the party and build a resilient political party. For me, I think that I went to the elections with a clear message of uniting the party for victory 2020. And of course, not just victory, but a significant victory as far as the numbers are concerned. Roland, the numbers has increased from 76,000 to 108,000 in a just ended registration. And of course, it requires somebody with the right attitude, with the right mindset, the huge mentality for winning an election, and not just winning, but winning with a very big difference. That is what the party people were looking for. So I think that most of the things I discussed with the party people, they bought into it. They saw my message, my personality, and what I bring on board this constituency. This constituency is largely predominantly Gadangbe community. And of course, yeah, I could resonate very well with the people. And for that reason, my party gave me a resounding victory in the just ended primaries. And I haven't disappointed them. It's been pretty good since after the primaries, and immediately after the registration, we've been on the road. As you can see, my people this morning, it's been like this since. And morning, afternoon, evening, we are on the road, reaching out to our constituents, giving them hope, explaining government policies to them. We're not doing anything different, explaining government policy, speaking for them, advocating for them, reaching out to them and explaining the message of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as a member of parliament. First of all, I'm a lawmaker, I'm a lobbyist and an advocate for a community. These are things I'm telling them. I'm not telling them anything extra. And of course, the records of the MPP in this constituency is outstanding. And that is a message on which we are campaigning. And of course, everybody knows, wherever you've been to in this constituency, there is something that the MPP has done in the 4 years stay in government.
But Bortianor, Ngleshie, Amanfro, you unseated a member of parliament?
Yes.
Okay. So it means that that person may not have endeared him or herself very well to the delegates in the first place.
Well, you know, every election comes with its own dynamics. And of course, he was a credible candidate for election 2016. Going forward into 2020, it comes with a different dynamics. The delegate, over 560 delegates, knew what they were looking for, and they gave me a resounding victory. So I don't want to say he has not endeared himself with the people, but I want to say that the dynamics of 2020 election requires that Sylvester Tetteh lead the charge, and of course, I've been given that mandate.
Well, just walk me a little bit and let's see how it goes. Look, you're somebody who heads the National Youth Authority, is that not it?
Yeah, it is.
And for somebody who has a youth authority, it means that your main objective will be foremostly the youth, but also you want to cut across all the demographics. Is that how you see the demographics in the constituency?
Obviously, you cannot be an MP for only the youth in your community, but we reckon that a significant investment should be made in the lives of young people, and the president has shown the way. And I've said that on many platforms, that the president in the Fourth Republic has been the president that has invested in young people more than any president.
You're talking about Nana Addo Dankwa
Akufo-Addo. And I'm happy, humbly, to be leading the charge at the National Youth Authority. Of course, some of the things I'm doing at the National Youth Authority will find its way here, and just like any other constituency, I've come to understand the youth arena more than before, and I think that they stand to benefit as young people in this constituency. So for me, I think that yes, they will benefit because of experience I've acquired, on the job as a CEO of the National Youth Authority, and also the other demographics in this constituency: the aged, the farmers, the fisher folks, the artisans, the middle class, everybody. The market this morning, we'll be going to the Galilee market, and any time I pass by the Galilee market, is like. The people, the issues we discuss are the pertinent issues so dear to their heart. As I speak to you, I've been in the market for a whole week. We're talking of the CAP business loan. The beginning is start from assisting them to get their TIN numbers. I've assisted over 500 market women to get their TIN numbers, get them registered. I've dedicated staff to be able to assist them because all these things are done electronically. Somebody have dedicated staff for the market women to assist them get their TIN numbers, take them through the process. Application for these CAP business loans that the president has announced through MBSSI. These are things that I'm doing for the market women. I don't have the money to give them. The government has put up a policy to assess it. You need to go through a process. Through the process, somebody needs to assist them, and that's what my office is doing. And I think that they've been happy with me. Many other places. I went to the riverside, to the beach side, to the farmers. I mean, a lot of interventions that our government has laid out, and I have to advocate for them to get their fair share of the national cake. So these are things that I've been doing, and I think that has been pretty good.
If you formally look at the things that are needed, which sectorial areas do you think that, if elected, you can lobby to make sure that those developmental issues are well addressed?
Well, I think in this constituency, first and foremost, infrastructure, that is a road network in this constituency, need to be addressed.
And you mean within the communities?
Yes, within the communities. And I mean, it's one of the things that will engage my attention. But before I become a member of parliament, as I speak, major roads in this constituency are under construction. So I'll be very happy and a fortunate MP to have Nana Addo as a president, where major road networks in this constituency are under construction. Many more are yet to be tackled, and I think that will engage my attention the more. Apart from that, youth development, holistic youth development will also engage my attention. I've met a lot of artisans, and I will encourage skills training, skills development. Already, I've put up a policy to train 500 youth a year in any vocation of their choice within the community. That I will support them and give them startups. These are things that I'm talking to the youth about. We talk of sports development on earth and sport talent. We are currently building a multi-purpose astroturf here. By November, the president will be commissioning it for an unearthing talent in our community. I've also put together a policy that every local community has a football team, one or two. Those managing these local teams don't have any expertise in terms of experience. So I've liaised with the National Sports College to put these people through a certificate coaching course to get them trained so that they will be able to offer professional training to these young ones in the communities. These are things that I'm doing that I think that in the long term, it will help on earth talent, sporting talent. Apart from that, skills training is one of the things that I have to engage the young people, and I've been engaging them. But so many young people are looking for jobs, white-collar jobs, that they are not in existence. You finish SHS, University Polytechnic, you are looking for a job. You may stay home at 4, 5, 2 years waiting for the job. What can you do whilst you are waiting for the job? The president has rolled out a NAPCO program. 100,000, about 2,000 of our young people here are on the program. After 3 years, what happens? A little more of them had graduated after the NAPCO program. They are still home. What can we do with the skills? We should have hands-on skills that will be useful to society for people to earn a living. The mindset education is what I'm also bringing. Doing a lot of youth conferences in this constituency to conscientize them about the challenges of our time and then even the future. The opportunities of SHS that has come to us, what it means is that we should do something more than the formal education that we are acquiring as a nation or as a constituency. And education will be my priority in this constituency. Health development is key. Also, for me, I've made a solemn pledge that by the time I finish or I enter my second term, hopefully, I'll have at least 10 local indigenous people going into the medical schools in this community. So
all from the community? All
from the community. We have a lot of health posts, polyclinics, and the rest in this community. Most of our people manning the facilities are not. So these young ones of 10 will be a morale booster to many more of the local people to also aspire to study and go higher as far as education is concerned. So for me, I think that Roland is a holistic approach, and that is what I've been preaching. I'm not doing anything different. I keep telling the people that this is what the MP's job is, and I'm not here promising you heavens, but I'll be a good advocate. The challenges of our community, I need to put it at the doorstep of government, lobby when necessary, advocate when necessary for the holistic development of our community. Sanitation, the municipal assembly has done a yeoman's job, and I commend them for that. Security issues, I've been engaging the assembly. A lot of the street lights are off. I've had a program with the municipal assembly and the Ministry of Energy to assist us to light up the place so that we'll keep down a robbery in the society. And then I'll be working with the police service to help promote a community watchdog, to assist the communities to come up with community watchdogs so that the young men will assist the police to be able to provide security in our neighborhood so that the community will be a safe place for all of us to live. And I have a very wonderful working relationship with the municipal chief executive, of which he understands me. There is a good telepathy amongst the two of us, and I believe that the community stands to benefit.
Look, there's a considerable times in which we're in because of the troubles or the difficulties we're having with coronavirus. That also will mean that many more people have their incomes either shortened, or maybe unemployment is becoming a big issue. As you go around the homes, the communities, you get to have some of these stories. Have you been able to do the interaction? What stories have you gotten from the communities? How are you encouraging your people?
Well, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, wherever you go, I mean, obviously the dependency rate will increase because of the effect of COVID-19. But we need to give hope. We need to inspire confidence amongst our people. Yes, I cannot do it all. I tell them the numbers in this constituency, and one person cannot do it all. There are extreme vulnerable people in the society. That one, there's nothing than putting your hands in your pocket and assist them in your small way. Of course, the young ones, yes, you motivate them, you help them, you encourage them to employ tactics, innovation, creativity out of the box to be able. I keep telling the young ones that the internet, we spend so much time on our internet, browsing, surfing, talking to friends. We can use the same internet to market wear and make a little money out of the internet. So these are things I'm telling young ones. Those that cannot do anything at all, that they are extremely vulnerable, you assist them. You call on people, friends, that relatives, to be able to support you, to support these vulnerable ones in our society. And of course, we'll continue doing that. But we cannot take all the challenge of dependency in this constituency. But we'll continue to encourage them. There are young ones in there. You tell them, you're expecting to have a job here, or your job, you've lost your job. Take up another opportunity, an alternative, experience something new, and make a living out of it. So these are things that we are pushing to them. And I believe that some are catching up with what we are telling them. And I believe that, yes, COVID-19 has its own consequences, but it's an eye-opener, it's an opportunity. There's an opportunity in there that people can cash in. That's what we should be looking at. Look at the opportunity that comes with COVID-19, making masks and other things necessary for the fight against COVID-19. Innovation, creativity is what we are looking for. If you used to sell at the restaurant and people come there to buy, now they cannot come to the restaurant in their numbers. Devise different means, strategy, creativity, and innovation to be able to sell to your clientele.
Now, I do know that when you are elected as a member of parliament, there seems to be this excessive pressure. So are you giving the right sort of messages that I'm only a development agent, not necessarily the one going to execute the development?
Well, of course, everywhere I've been, I try to make it clear to them. And one of the things I'm promising my people, and it's a promise, there will be constant and continuous engagement.
You'll do that?
I'll do that.
You'll be the first MP to do that?
I will not be the first MP. There are a number of MPs who engage a lot.
Okay.
Meet them.
I see.
It is better to meet them and explain than to shine away and wait for 4 years to go back to them. That is the complaints. Yesterday, I went to a community. They made huge demands on me. And I woke up and I did a simple calculation. And they said, oh, we are sorry. I said, look, I can't do that. My salary as a member of parliament, about 6 months is what you are demanding for just one community. And that's one of the many requests they've put before me. A simple arithmetic. And they were shocked. I said, yes. So I can't do it. So what I can do is to lobby for project for the entire community. Government does roads, a water extension, electricity extension. These are things that central government, and I have to take your concerns to the right quarters to get them fixed for you. But you don't expect all this expenditure from me. Where am I going to get the money? I tell them, and I'm telling them now. If you had followed my campaign, these are things I'm telling them. The road network, I say, look, I will not fix the road by myself, but I'll take your concerns to the right place at the Ministry of Roads, to government for intervention. And we've started. We are in government. I've made significant intervention in some of these areas, and it's ongoing. Those who know, they are appreciative of that effort.
Now, we do know that we have to at least come towards the end of this conversation, but you can't put out all your strategies. So indeed, you can't even put out your strategies. But we just have a few months to the elections. Right. What really is a concentration? Where are the focus areas, so that you know that this is what you've mapped out and this is what your goals ultimately would be?
Well, Roland, I have the numbers as registered in recent registration exercise. I know the communities very well. I have my own strategy. I'm confident that what we put out there in the next 3 months, we'll be confident to say we can win about 70% of the popular vote here. Yeah.
The other, just adjoining you, is Ewutu Senya East. Right. We know that there were skirmishes during the registration period, but how are you also complementing efforts to make sure that the peace is maintained? Well,
of course, we kept talking about peace, and I'm not sure my sister Hawa is violent. She's not violent at all. I mean, what happened there is quite unfortunate. People blew that out of proportion, and I think many people didn't even understand what happened.
You think we including the media, also blew it out of proportion?
Of course, I think there are a lot of sensation attached to that particular story, but on hindsight, many more people I've spoken to after have realized that it blew the matter out of proportion. But I think there's been significant calm in that constituency. She's been a pillar of that constituency. She's really been helpful to the constituency and all. She's a border, that central region and in Greater Accra. We talk a lot, and we've tried to maintain peace in both constituencies, and we've had significant engagement to ensure that there is peace and stability. That is the only way we can develop our community. If I tell you the kind of investment she's made in that constituency in her 2 terms as a member of parliament, it will amaze you to think that the same person would destroy all the gains she's made in that constituency. Never. And she's been a pillar for that constituency, and she's going to win. Significantly, she's going to win landslide, just as I'll be winning here.
Well,